A mechanic happened to run into a cardiac surgeon one day, and he said to him, "Both of us essentially do the same thing. We repair the engines that run bodies. Then why are you revered so much by the people?" The surgeon simply smiled and said, "I don't have the liberty of turning off the engine. I repair the engine while it's still running the body."
I am Dr. Devi Shetty, and this is the patient I have just operated. He is one of the very few lucky ones to get the opportunity to go through the heart operation. India requires about 25 lakh people to undergo heart operation every year. Unfortunately, less than 1 lakh people undergo heart surgery.
It is true of some men that they are born great. But some find their purpose in life and go on to attain greatness in the pursuit of that purpose.
100 years after the first heart surgery, less than 10% of the world's population can afford a heart operation.
Dr. Devi Prasad Shetty is one such man, a man who saw the best and the worst in our world and decided to bridge the divide.
I used to see around 100 heart patients every day when I started my career in Calcutta 22 years ago, but very few of them turned up for heart operation. They simply couldn't afford it. Then I realized that that's the first lesson I learned in my life. If a solution is not affordable, it is not a solution. Even if the solution is going to save your life, if you can't pay for it, it's not a solution. And that's the day we decided as a team that we should strive to reduce the cost of heart surgery.
In Calcutta, I remember my father designed a brochure for the hospital. And in that, one of the last pages, he sketched out a vision of what he thought the future of healthcare would look like. And he sketched out all these buildings and tall buildings in a complex. And they looked extremely modern. And this was 93, 94, maybe even before that. No one had built anything like that.
Dr. Devi Shetty's reasons for studying medicine were very different from how things have turned out today. It is from his experiences over the years that the need to help people arose, and Dr. Shetty ended up being what he is today.
I was born in a small town called Kinigoli in South Canberra, and I was the 8th of the 9 children, and my father was going in and out of the hospital when I was a kid. So obviously all the children were very worried about the father's health, mother's health. And in our life, doctor was like God, because he's the only one who could save our parents. So I guess that's one of the reasons why I decided to become a doctor. And when I was in 5th standard, one day our teacher came and announced that today in Cape Town, a surgeon called Dr. Christian Bernard, he did the heart transplant. He removed the heart from a dead person and put it in a person with a diseased heart. And that's the day I decided this is what I want to do.
Dr. Shetty completed his graduate degree in medicine and postgraduate work in general surgery from the Kasturba Medical College in Manipal. From there, he went on to study cardiac surgery at Guy's Hospital in London.
When I used to work in England, that's a country where more than 97% of the country's population can go to any hospital of their choice, get any treatment done without paying a penny. That truly represents true democracy. Our government spends 1% of the GDP on healthcare. If you look at why healthcare is so expensive in our country, it is primarily because of the lopsided government policies.
Dr. Shetty came back to India to work in Calcutta, where he quickly realized that the way of working he had grown accustomed to abroad would have to be unlearned in the motherland. Things were different here.
There was no concept of disposable gowns, disposable gloves. The entire concept of disposable wasn't available then. So we needed to create a whole industry by getting distributors from foreign countries to start selling these products.
But Dr. Shetty persevered. He found a way around things and worked with what he had, rather than waste time fighting them. It is an attitude he reflected in his later work as well. Calcutta was also the time when Dr. Shetty happened to treat a patient who would leave an indelible mark on his life and provide him with renewed direction and purpose. That patient was Mother Teresa.
I had the privilege of being Mother Teresa's doctor, and she taught me one lesson which I remember every day. She said that the hands that serve are more sacred than the lips that pray.
But as they say, it is easier said than done. Good intentions aside, Dr. Shetty faced a slew of challenges in his path. The cost of healthcare was really high and the poor were suffering. It was then that Dr. Shetty made a decision that would turn out to be a great deed in the service of the poor of this country. In 2001, he founded Narayana Hrudayalaya, a multi-speciality hospital on the outskirts of Bangalore city. It was his endeavor to reduce healthcare costs by almost 50% by adopting the idea of economies of scale. He and his team pioneered the unique concept of Health City. A 2,000 to 5,000 bed conglomeration of multi-super speciality hospitals in a single campus.
We understand that the poor people in isolation are very weak, but together they are very strong. So 10 years ago, we convinced 17 lakh farmers to contribute 5 rupees per month, and they could get a heart operation done. When all those millions of people started walking into the hospital, we changed the way the hospitals are built. We realized that if the heart hospital is doing 2 or 3 heart operations in a day, it is not going to reduce the cost. So we decided to build a heart hospital which can do 30 to 60 heart operations in a day, because we know there are that many people who need heart operation. When we realized that the cost of materials are very, very expensive, then we decided to make some of those materials in India. For example, you see the surgical drapes which are disposable. Surgeons who wear disposable gowns, it was costing us 5,000 rupees for a heart operation. So we decided to have a young company to do those products here. And now it is available for 800 rupees. From 5,000 rupees, we brought down the cost to 800 rupees. Today, we are able to break even by charging a patient about $1,800 for a heart operation. But our desire is to reduce it to $800. And you may call it as a game changer, or you may call it as a necessity. And I strongly believe necessity is the mother of all the invention.
And it was this simple idea that gave birth to the concept called micro health insurance. The launch of Yashaswini, a health insurance for the farmers in Karnataka, in association with the state government, changed the game in the medicine industry, making quality healthcare accessible to the needy.
When I was trying to impress on the government and the policymakers that with the 5 rupees per month, you can run a health insurance scheme, there was a lot of skepticism. They were thinking that with 5 rupees a month, you can't even buy a packet of BD, and Dr. Shetty wants to do a heart operation with 5 rupees per month. And in 10 years, now we have more than 4 million farmers who are contributing 10 rupees per month, and more than 4.5 lakh farmers had varieties of operation, including major heart operation, for just 5 to 10 rupees per month. We believe that going forward, this is the best model for the country for universal health coverage. We have 900 million mobile phone subscribers. If we can charge 20 rupees from each mobile phone subscriber, we can cover 900 million population of our country. And this will be the world's largest and the robust health insurance.
Dr. Shetty has been following the principle of economies of scale and consequently reducing the cost.
If our motive is to make this world a better place to live in, there are enough tools available to make it happen.
His formula has had so much success that he has frequent visits from top government officials from across the world who want to have similar setups in their own countries. Dr. Devi Shetty's dream has gone global.
I spend a lot of time with him every single day. Is simplicity, simple, childlike almost. What he believes is that if something is right, that can be done. He doesn't think that it is impossible to do that just simply because it is difficult. So focused about that he expects results the previous day. So, and he comes up with ideas about like 100 in a minute, and he wants them followed up the very next minute.
Though Narayana Hrudyalaya, a pioneer in low-cost cardiac care, boasts over 1,000 beds and performing over 30 surgeries a day, the health city also has a chain of other specialty hospitals that carry out treatments for interrelated ailments that patients tend to develop while undergoing treatment for one. Needless to say that this also is at the cheapest rates in the world.
If we want to reduce the cost of healthcare, we need to create large health cities at every state capital. 200-bed, 300-bed hospitals in isolation cannot reduce the cost. So we decided to create a 5,000-bed health city, wherein there is a 1,000-bed heart hospital, 1,400-bed cancer hospital. There is an eye hospital which can do 500 cataract surgery every day. There is a orthopedic and trauma center to deal with joint replacements and accidents. If we build 5,000 bed in one campus, by sharing the infrastructure, the cost of procedure will come down significantly.
But it's the pediatric cardiac intensive care unit that Dr. Shetty is very proud of.
Repairing the heart of children is like repairing a plane when the plane is in the air.
Dr. Shetty was the first Indian to carry out a successful neonatal heart surgery. It has remained close to him ever since. At NH, thousands of children being operated and eminent doctors wanting to come and work in this hospital makes it very satisfying for Dr. Shetty.
We can accommodate about 80 children at any given time. We do the largest number of heart surgeries in the world. We do up to 35 major heart surgeries in a day. Nearly half the operations we do are on children. we get children from 76 countries. The main reason that many children come to us is that in the last 12 years, we have never refused a single child who required a heart operation because of the money. Surgeries on children is very, very complicated. In US, these surgeries cost about $60,000 to $80,000. We use the same machines as an American hospital, and our hospital is accredited by Joint Commission of US. Our processes are exactly like an American hospital. But we reduce the cost of a heart operation from $80,000 to $1,800. Yes, Doc?
The Narayana Hrudayalaya Group, in association with ISRO, also manages the world's largest telemedicine program.
Milk and milk products कम खाना है, fish and chicken खा सकते हैं, mutton नहीं खाना है, red meat, beef नहीं खाना है.
The telemedicine network of the hospital connects to countries like Malaysia, Mauritius, Pakistan and some other African nations, with most of the cases referred through telemedicine being cardiac ones. With telemedicine services provided by the hospital being free, thousands of cases have been referred using this service.
So we created an extensive network of telemedicine across the country. We are linked to 100 centers across the country, and we have, through the telemedicine using the ISRO satellite, we have treated over 53,000 heart patients. All these patients were treated free of cost. After standardizing telemedicine, we wanted to use it further. Around 5 years ago, we wanted to get into liver transplant on children. Our cardiac anesthetist didn't have much experience with little babies' liver transplant. Operation theatre of Health City in Bangalore was linked with Children's Hospital of Philadelphia, which has the world's largest experience in liver transplant on babies. So anesthetist sitting in OT number 16 of Children's Hospital of Philadelphia was anesthetizing a patient in Bangalore through the satellite. This is how we started our liver transplant program, which became extremely successful. Today, our doctors are performing liver transplant with excellent outcomes.
The charity wing of Narayana Hrudayalaya takes care of all the patients who need financial help with their treatment. This is its sole purpose, and Dr. Shetty, busy as he is closely involved with the wing.
From the beginning, he has been telling that no patient should be turned down for want of money. They can come here, but nobody can go back because they don't have the money. He has got a very, very compassionate heart. He will never say no to the people who are coming in with for want of help. And at any cost, he will admit them. He is very nice to them. He is polite to them. He will call me and tell me that please don't send them back. Somehow, if they have whatever money they have, you please take it. And if they don't have the money also, please get them admitted and get the child operated or get the person operated.
Managing what Dr. Shetty does and on a scale which he does it is not a mean feat. Like all great things, there has been collateral damage. Dr. Shetty has not been able to spend as much time as he would have liked to with his family. But his family is a support system which has played a huge role in Dr. Shetty's life and consequently his work.
I seem to spend a lot of time with his patients, and I didn't know it then. I assumed that everyone else did that. But as I got older, I realized that's not always the case. A lot of surgeons don't really take the time to spend as much time with their patients as my father did. So people really appreciated that.
The life of a cardiac surgeon is very tough. When I used to work in England, all my consultants, every time I introduced them to my wife, they used to shake her hand, and the first thing they used to tell her that they have all this sympathy for her. They used to take pity on her because I hardly used to go home. Life was very tough. I used to work all the weekends. But then I was very lucky I'm very, very lucky to have a wife who understood my passion for the profession. She supported me. God blessed us with 4 children. They grew up. I hardly had an opportunity to attend any of their school functions and their birthdays. They started growing. Initially they were a bit unhappy, but as they grew up, they realized that father needed to work so hard. And now looking back, I'm so happy that my children are not extremely upset with me, because my oldest son, after his graduation, he went to Stanford University, finished his MBA, and he decided to work with the hospital industry. He decided to work with my company. My other 2 sons decided to become doctors, and both of them want to become heart surgeons. That shows that they were not very unhappy with their father not being there with them throughout the childhood. And my princess, my youngest daughter, she is passionate about this profession and she wants to help me out. So on the whole, it has turned out to be good for me, and I have no regrets. I am extremely grateful to God for blessing me with a great family. If you want to change the way things are, you have to keep walking, you have to make progress, and in something you will succeed and in something you will fail. And as long as your intention is to help the mankind, I am convinced that I will succeed at the end of the day. But in the process, a lot of things which we never anticipate happen, something good, something bad, but then we have to keep walking, because that is the only way we can reach our destination.